Let's see. Hello, everyone. Let's see. There's Sandy in the comments and Lori. Hello. New year, new spot. No, it's COVID. Oh no, Lori. Hello, Erica and Danielle and Lisa. And Lisa is over there under the name Carnival Stamps. Donna, hello. Julia, hello, everyone. It's fun to be able to read all your comments here and have everybody all in one spot. Hello, Anna and Michelle. Very cool. I'm so glad that all of you are here. And we'll just kind of just chit chat for a couple of seconds. So I'm going to be creating a card this evening with some older product again. We're kind of gearing up for our new release, which will be on January the 16th. I'm going to start doing sneak peeks just like we would normally do. And then you'll see everything kind of sneaked here first on our live streams. And so, is it me or the sound really off? Let's see here. Does it have a weird sound? Let's see here. That. Okay, see if that is any better. The volume has echoes. Maybe this is better. I switched it. It's better. Emily's saying it's better now. Okay, that's the okay, better. Okay, so that's the nice thing about using the software is, for one thing, I can chat with you for just a second, and then I can kind of adjust things in here. So it's going to take us a little bit to get all the kinks worked out, but I'm glad you guys told me that because it lets me know what mic is going to work better for the lives. Okay, much better. Okay, super cool. All right, so we're going to do a project tonight with old product, and I'm actually going to make a kind of more masculine Valentine's Day card. Those of you that have joined us forever, hey Brenda, know that my husband is deployed overseas, and so I thought it would be fun to kind of pull out old product and make a Valentine's Day card to send him, and I kind of got to get on the ball because the mail takes forever to get over there. So so much better. Okay, everybody is saying good. So the other night, last week, I made a card using dies and felt, and I was surprised that a lot of people didn't realize, and let me see if I can get the good light here. A lot of people didn't realize that you can use your, and everything is mirrored, use your crafty dies to make little felt flowers or even sentiments or whatever you wanted to. So this is the card that we made the other night. The only thing new on this whole thing is the pattern paper, which you'll start seeing when I start sneaking stuff next week, but also this will be released in that release that's coming up. So I think without further ado, let's see. Hey, Connie, nice to see your face. Yeah, it's a little bit different. Normally, when I join you guys on Tuesdays and Thursday nights, and Lisa and I were just talking about this, is I'm like in my PJs, ready to go to bed. My little guy is already in bed down the hallway. And so I do our little crafty time together. And then I'll go, watch TikTok or YouTube or Netflix or whatever. And then I'll go to bed because I'm on the East Coast. So, but I have to look halfway normal for you guys. Let's see, I ordered some felt since your last live. Oh, awesome, Gail. Make sure that you post that. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to switch the camera down and I'm going to show you my desk view here. And as I mentioned, everything is older products. So some of you may already have this in your stash. So I'm going to use one of the inside sentiment sets, and this is Inside Kindness. And I love this sentiment that says, I love you today and all the other days. So I thought that would be cute. It's not just real feminine or girly or anything like that for Valentine's Day. I'm going to use this frame that's from one of the Slimline die sets. Now I have to tell you, 99% of the time when I use our Slimline dies, I don't use them on a Slimline card. And so I'll show you some ways to get some more use, or another way to get some more use out of your Slimline dies. And then we have our, let me pull these off of my magnet here. We have our lovely layers. This is one of the very first lovely layers. This comes in a set, but I'm going to use this that has the little outline, and this is called the Heart Vine, I believe. And then this just came out in our Christmas release. It's just a background that's going to add some texture so everything's not flat. We have some basic layering hearts or stacking hearts, and then our Art Deco dies as well as a little something. You know, I love to layer the paper, and so we're going to do a little bit of that this evening, and I'll kind of walk you through everything I've done. Now, I have done my die cuts, so it makes it easy peasy, but I am going to spruce them up a little bit. So I just have a white top folding card base and some red cardstock. And as I mentioned before, I'm not gonna make this like super feminine because I'm gonna send this to my husband. But I want to show you, this is what I cut with that Slimline die. And you can either adhere the frame down, or you can use it separately. Now you'll notice that I use that cover plate that adds the texture. I use that on the inside because I didn't want it just flat. Now you could use pattern paper or whatever you wanted to use in there, but I wanted to have that added texture and added interest back there. So I've got that. And then the Art Deco frames, I just picked out one of those that I thought would be good to layer. And then of course I've got a red, the Heart Vine, and then a heart from my stacking hearts or my layering hearts. Let me see if I can pull this off here. And then I just cut that out of black and white gingham paper, out of some of our gingham paper pads. Okay, so we're going to get started here. And I'm going to kind of zhuzh or fix up a little bit of this. Now for this, I don't want it to be just this plain creamy cardstock. So I am going to take just a blending brush that has a little bit of gathered twigs or something like that on there. And I'm going to take it and just gently kind of rub around the edge. And let's see if I can get this. I may have to actually dip into my ink. Normally, I will try my dirty brushes first because I want it to be light on the lighter side. No, that looks like it's going to do good. And then if I need to dip into the ink, I can always do that later. But I would rather try to use what's left in the brush first than to dip in there and then, possibly make a mess with it. Okay, so that made that little Art Deco die cut look a little bit more vintage looking. And so I'm liking that. And then it's not just going to be, a stark flat piece of paper on my cardstock. All right, so let's go ahead and let's stamp our sentiment. So I'm going to pull out those Inside Kindness, and this is the Kindness set. And I like this because it's got a bunch of like friend type sentiments in it, but it also has this I love us. There's several. I love you today and all the other days. Let's see here. We rise by lifting others. Life is tough, but sorry. It's a good mix of just nice, kind sentiments. And so this is where I have my scrap paper. I'm going to pull out my Misty and then pull out that sentiment that says, I love you today and all the other days. There we go. And I'm just going to stamp that in black ink and use my VersaFine because I love this ink for sentiments. And then close it up and give it a little press. And then let's see if that looks good. Thank goodness, because my sticky mat is almost worn out. And so I don't need to restamp that. All right, so I'm going to close this up and set it aside. And I'm going to actually set this aside while I'm kind of building the rest of the card to see or to let that ink set up. Let's see here. Lay that you're showing what the combine releases. Yes, pull out all those old things and layer them up. All right, so let's go ahead and let's work on this little background that we're doing here. So as I mentioned, when you cut the slimline die, and this is the one that has the eyelet edge. So it's got a little pierce there and a scallop, and then it comes with the little sentiment dies as well. But I wanted this little kind of scalloped eyelet look, something simple. And the middle of it comes out, and you can choose either to use the eyelet frame or not. And I think I'm going to use it, but I'll show you how. Oops, let me get my chapstick. I'll show you how 99% of the time I use these slimline dies. I don't do a lot of slimline cards, but I love the dies. So I'm going to offset this just a little bit, and I'm going to leave room for that frame. And I'm going to put this down, and you'll notice I'm going to let it hang off the top, and that's okay. I'm just going to eyeball here and make sure everything is lined up pretty well. And then I can take the little frame, and you could use this without the center too. It would be cute with just a little frame. You could frame a sentiment or actually use it on a slimline card to have a little frame around a scene or, you know, something like that. And so I'm just going to run a very fine line of this liquid adhesive. There we go. And then I'm going to carefully kind of set it down and then wiggle it around while the adhesive is still wet and get it lined up right around this centerpiece. And line it all up. And any adhesive I can just kind of brush away because it's all going to dry nice and clear. Let me get my little cloth here. There we go. Okay, now for this part, this is where I'm going to trim all this off. You can use your paper trimmer, and I have a pair of sharp scissors here, and I'm just going to butt it up against the edge on the back and then carefully trim away any excess. There we go. And then I can set that aside. And then I'm going to go ahead and add this onto our card base. There we go. Let's see here. And then I'm going to set it down and then kind of hold it up to eyeball it and make sure all my edges are straight all the way around. There we go. And then now I can kind of start putting on my layers. And this layer with this Art Deco frame is going to kind of be edged over to the right side. And I'm trying to decide if I want to, yeah, I might as well, because I'm going to send this in the mail to my hubby, which is going to go in a little package anyway to him, like a little maybe Valentine care package. And so I'll pop this up because I'm not worried about it being in like a tiny envelope or anything like that. And I'll use my tabs here and pull these back. My favorite dimensional adhesive are the honeybee ones that have the tabs. Okay, and then I'm going to flip this over because I'm going to cover up that little ink boo-boo there. And then I'm going to very carefully kind of line it up and have it go straight down this edge. There we go. Okay, so we're getting all of our kind of layers worked in here. Now this is that Lovely Layers Heart Divine. And let's pull out our little tweezers. I'm going to use my tweezers with the adhesive and just kind of dot some areas in the thicker parts And I'm not going to go all the way to the edge because I kind of like it to kind of stick up and add some movement and some dimension. Okay, I'm going to let that go, and then I'm going to tap down, and then these kind of little leafy edges can kind of stick up a little bit. There's no adhesive on those. Okay, and then our heart. I think I'm going to add some foam dots to the heart as well, because why not? Okay, and then we'll peel back these little tabs. There we go. And then I'm going to place this little guy in the center, kind of right in there. And I'm going to look at it before I place it all down. Now this looks a little, it can go a little masculine, don't you think? With the craft cardstock and the red. And if I really wanted to, I almost added like a stencil back in here on the red with some, what is that stuff called? Like perfect pearls. But I thought, for my hubby, that may just be a little bit too much to send with the glimmery, shimmery perfect pearls. But I do think that that would be really pretty back there. Okay, so let's cut out the sentiment. And so I'm going to pull out my coordinating dies here. And I need to pick out the one that coordinates. And so I always kind of look at the shape here and see which one is going to match up. And the bottom line is bigger than the top. So you're kind of getting to see how my crazy brain works here. Let's see if this is it. Let's see if I can do it on the first time. Yep, and there we go. Okay, so that's what I do is on all these sentiments, like if you have a hard time figuring out like which one matches up with what, you can always I always like look at the curves and the curls and the letters and see which line is longer than the other. And I'm really looking here to make sure that this gets lined up nicely. And I'm going to place that over the top. And now I'm going to pull out my little bitty buzz cutter. We can go like this. And then I've got my base plate. Now my base plate here is looking a little sad. This is my original base plate, my original plates from when I first got the bitty buzz cutter. And I haven't needed to replace it at all. It still cuts beautifully and it's nice and straight. So I don't know if you guys, I know probably several of you have the bitty buzz cutter, but it's a handy little die machine to keep over here on your desk. Okay, now we have this really cute sentiment that I think I'm going to drop. I could put it down there, but I think I want it almost kind of perched up. What do you guys think? Like perched up here or in the center? Let's see here. The card could be used for both men or absolutely, Anna. I think so too. Can I say that I love that I don't have to cut apart your dies? Yes, Kathleen, that is a major plus with our dies. My plate looks like that too. Yes, and it works perfectly still. Let's see here in the center. Donna says that's her go-to machine. Mine too. Let's see here. I love my bitty buzz cutter. I have trouble matching them. It takes a few times. Sometimes it does for me too. And that's why sometimes you'll see me, I'll cheat. And before we go live, I'll go through that time. But you guys kind of were seeing the workings of my brain here and how I pick out what goes with what to make sure that it all matches up. Let's see here. The center, I love this color combo. I have some buffalo print paper. Yes, from the holidays. Yes, for Valentine's Day. That's what I thought too, that, it's not like a floral or more hearts or anything like that, that this will be cute for my husband. Okay, I think everybody's saying the center of the heart like that. And then we'll just leave all this open. And you know what I mean? It's going to be hard not to add like pearls or gems or something like that. But that goes right along with the perfect pearls is I would love it, but you know, my husband's not going to care whether it's got gems and pearls and perfect pearls and all the things on it. Okay, I'm going to hold this up and make sure that that's all nice and straight. I kind of like that on white paper there, but you could pull out, you know, more red paper if you wanted that or anything. Okay, so let me kind of hold it up here so you can get a up close look. But I think that looks pretty good for a little quick and easy masculine birthday card. I love you today and all the other days. And I thought that that was a perfect little sentiment. It's not too, you know, my husband will like that. It's not super cheesy. It's not super lovey-dovey, but it's cute. It's a cute little sentiment. Let's see here. Yes, the replay. Let's see. Somebody was asking about a replay. The replays will all live here on the YouTube channel, so it'll make it really easy. And yeah, it'll be nice. And I'm loving having all of you all in one place. And we're not worried about, you know, multiple cameras. There's a lot that goes into the behind the scenes of a live stream. And so it's nice to have one camera and all that good stuff. Okay, let me switch it back around here. Hello. Okay, and everybody, anniversary, yes, anniversaries too. Any shipping updates? I joined later. I hope that everyone is feeling better. I am not aware of shipping updates. If you go on the website, I think that there's a little blurb there about shipping that tells you the dates. And if you have questions and have your order number, you can always go to customer care at honeybeestamps.com and they will pull up your specific order. Let's see here. Perched up off to the side. Oh, that's what, yes. I thought about that. Let's see. I like this being on YouTube now. Thank you, Gail. I hope it works out for everyone. I have to make my husband's birthday card this month. Yeah, you could totally make, you know, a little bit Valentine. You could leave off the, and it's like you guys can see that down there. I'm going to have to get used to it. You can leave off the heart vines or something like that and just do some pretty layers with, you know, your die cuts and different papers and things like that. But, let's see. I still have some embossing powder that I'm waiting for. Let's see here. I have to make my husband's birthday card. Let's see here. The connection is better on YouTube. Oh, perfect. You know, it's because we're running less cameras and everything is running through the big desktop instead of trying to pull everything into the little cameras. Let's see here. All right. All right, you guys. Well, another thing that we're going to do since we're all in one place is we're going to have a giveaway. We're going to have one big giveaway instead of two smaller giveaways. And so we're going to give away one $25 gift card. And so I'm going to let Lisa scroll through and choose a winner. And then I'll kind of hold up my little cheat sheet here and then you guys can email me. Let's see here. Glad you're making it easier to do the lives. Yes, Cindy, I hope that it helps. I hope that it's good for everyone. And I love that the connection is better. That makes me feel better. You never know with the internet. Let's see here. So I'm just waiting for Lisa's comment here, and it's so nice to have all of you all in one place. Somebody said my carts are well, I tidied it before you came into my craft room. So congrats, Cindy W. You are the winner. Okay, Cindy. So if you'll email me, Kelley, Kelley at honeybeestamps.com, I will send you your gift card. And it's a $25 gift card. And so you can go in and shop for that, or you can hold on to it until January the 16th when we have our thing. My chair is comfy. I work here all day long, and so I needed a comfortable chair. So I went through all the little cheap ones and had to spend a little money to get a comfy chair. Absolutely. So congratulations to, I believe it was Cindy W. Yes. And thank you all for joining us. I'm glad that it worked out so well tonight. You know, it's always trial and error when we start something new, but I will be back here, same time, same place on Thursday, and I hope to see you then. So bye-bye, you guys. Have a great Wednesday tomorrow, and I'll see you soon.